Hello, welcome to Cosmic Readings and Messages for an update on the global pandemic world change series of readings for May 31st, 2020, ending the month of May. And yes, it has been over a month since my last reading. If you were following the previous ones, which I think the last one was, April 23rd. I was getting a lot of intense stuff. If you go back and listen to them, and I'm just going to mention that again, go back and listen to the ones going back to, I guess, the end of March, was it? I started, and then through April. And some readings I did when I was half asleep. I woke up in the middle of the night, early in the morning. Just a lot of messages I was getting from the collective, what I call spirits, angels, universe, all of that. And if you're just watching this video and haven't seen any of my previous readings, please go back and watch some of those ones in this series that are before this day, before May 31st. Also, check out the intro video to this channel to find out a little bit more about how I do readings, which is a little bit unconventional, but I do it the way that it works for me. But more importantly, with this reading, I wanted to do this update, and I sort of planned it out, and I got things set up to do it. So this isn't a spur of the moment type of reading. I'm doing this on the evening of May 31st, not in the middle of the night or early in the morning or anything like that. So I wanted to do this update because I was just thinking I haven't done one in a long time. I was getting a lot, and I mean, if you go back and listen to some of those other readings, I was very what's the word, overwhelmed overwhelmed with what I was being given, the things that I was seeing, the dreams that I was having. I kept questioning everything, and I'm being honest, it was a lot. Because if you go back and watch my intro video, you read any of the other previous videos, you listen to them, I'm a skeptic, and I've been brought into this realm of spiritual, supernatural type stuff because of my own life path. But I'm still a skeptic. I'm a science person by trade, so I question everything, and it was just the most intense dreams and visions that I was getting and stuff. And I was even at one point thinking that I'm gonna have to go see a clergy type person, a religious leader, or somebody to try to sort this all out, because it was just very, very overwhelming. And I couldn't deny things that were happening were fitting in with what I was seeing, and it continued past the 23rd of April, my last reading. I actually had to consciously block it out because I'm currently not working still, hoping that my job starts soon, and there was things that I had to be more, just because I wasn't working, because I was worried about, life in general. There was things that I was worried about outside of this whole spiritual realm. And I'm sharing this with all of you out there because I want you to get a perspective of why it's been so long since I was doing all of those readings, and it was a lot of stuff, and I just sort of stopped. And it was because I just basically said to the universe, I'm not going to listen. I actually did that. I said, I can't listen anymore. And it continued because it was so strong and powerful, I couldn't turn it off. They were still showing me things. And I was actually told in a dream that I needed to get more messages out. And I said, I'm not. And there was a couple of times I almost did. Like I actually got everything set up to do a reading, and I said, no, I really do not want to get into this. In the meantime, though, I was getting tons of information about a global change, evilness that was being exposed, and tons of information. And little did I know, right after I ended those, which was at April 23rd, as we went into the month of May, if anybody's been paying any attention at all to the news, we've gotten a lot of information. A lot of information. A lot of things have come to light on the political stage. A lot of things have been coming forward, facts and proof about corruption and stuff like that. Now, if you listen to my previous readings, I was told, and I relayed in my readings, that there was going to be lots of people that would have to decide whether they wanted to believe this or not. We're also finding out that there's a lot of things happening on the world stage that are corrupt. A lot of things are being exposed. A lot of changes with the pandemic. Of course, going back to the end of April, my last reading, and then coming into May, a lot of places around the country, around the United States where I am, and the world too, were beginning to open up. It was, and I apologize for the cough, I do have a slight allergy, and it's been beautiful where I am, but there's also a lot of pollen in the air. So anyway, things started opening up again. And now we have here in the United States, of course, we have, how do I put this politely? We have riots going on and major protests around the country over something that involved the police and the death of another person. And it has to do with race. And if you're not paying any attention to the news, you've been missing out on a lot of stuff, because basically the United States has been turned upside down because of this. And it's also coming to light that with all of these riots, most of them, the majority of them, are peaceful protests that have, they've been hijacked. And we're now finding out that there are people that are inciting violence. So again, more information is coming out about that. And just today, May 31st, one of the groups has been labeled a terrorist organization, which most people, in everyday life already considered that, but it wasn't official until today. So I won't get into that, but I wanted to do this reading, and I know it's already getting kind of long. I just want to put that as the backdrop to all of this, because a lot of information has come, and a lot of corruption and evil things have happened. In hindsight, some of the crying and screaming and people being scared and children involved and that kind of stuff that I was seeing, since I was getting a lot of information. And then again, go back to those other readings, and I was just saying it was overwhelming, and I was seeing a lot of things, and it was almost like information overload. I was actually seeing and hearing what's going on right now. The rioting that's going on, and people being scared and screaming, and it was the protest. And I didn't even realize that what the spirits and angels, what the universe was giving to me, was all of it at once. Like, I was getting the pandemic, I was getting, and that information, I was getting the corruption information, plus I was getting the riots and the fear and the anxiety and the stress of what was coming up. It was all being sort of mushed together But at the same time, I was also getting that message that everything is going to turn out okay. It's going to get better. I was focusing more, and I was actually asking questions to the universe and spirits and angels, as I collectively call them, primarily about the pandemic. And they were answering that question. The pandemic itself, the disease, that is getting better. And, the world is recovering from that. But they were actually also giving me these messages about what was going to be these riots and this anxiousness and that was part of the reason why the spirits and angels wanted me to get the message out, and I was not conveying it properly. And I apologize for that because, again, I'm a skeptic, and some of the things I was seeing it through the prism of, not rose-colored glasses, but through the prism of pandemic and corruption, because that's the direction they were leading me in. But they were also showing me what's happening right now here in the United States with the riots that are going on and the destruction. And I was not able to separate that because, again, it was information overload. So I wanted to do this reading to find out, with all of you watching, what the spirits and angels have to say about what's going on. So, sorry for that. I did grab a major arcana card and an angel card. I didn't see what they were. I just sort of put them there on the table, so it would look nice for this video. It is live. There's my hand right there. There's Archangel Michael. I've got him in the image. The symbol for Archangel Michael's up here. He, if you haven't seen my other videos, he is the archangel that watches over me. He comes to me a lot in my dreams, gives me messages and insights and stuff like that. When he appears, I pay a close attention to it. But in any case, let me see, because I don't know what these cards are. I just shuffled the decks. I separate the major and minor arcana cards. So I keep them separate because I use the major arcana cards for like the big message, the main message that they want to convey. The minor cards I use as sort of the fill-in message, more details. And then the angel cards I also get more information from. So I put these two cards down. I don't know what they are. But that's how, the last couple of readings that I've been doing in this series, I've been just throwing these cards down and just seeing how are we going to start the reading? What's the first impression that the spirits, angels, universe want us to know? So I'll start with the angel card. This is a repeat card. Fiona. I like this card. So we're starting off with Fiona. Now that you asked the angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. So this is the card, if you go back and watch my other readings, this is the card where, if you just look at the angel there, Fiona, she's holding her hands out, and it's kind of like, well, you asked for it, here you go, and be open to it. So this is a good way to start the reading anyway, because it's like, here you go. You want some information? You've asked for it? Be ready to receive the angel's help. So that's a good way to start. And the major arcana card that I put down turned out to be the Sun. Okay, beautiful card. Really good way to start the reading too. Today was a sunny day. Card 19. The Sun is, new beginning. It's got the baby. Everything is going to be good. It's just it's a very hopeful card. The Sun. Happiness. So what I'm getting from this, even though we've got this pandemic that's winding down, thankfully, but we do have this is for the world. This is cosmic readings and messages for the globe and world change. So it's not just the United States, but yes, we do have this dark period in the United States history right now. But this card is saying there's going to be a new beginning. It is going to get better. So on that, I'm going to start the reading, and I'm going to shuffle the angel cards here. And spirits, angels, universe, please come forward as I shuffle these cards. Okay. I'm just going to start going through them. My question to the spirits, angels, universe. What message do you have for the world regarding the pandemic? What angelic message do you have regarding the Whoops. Okay. Card did flip out. All right. So regarding the pandemic, the Isaiah card has popped. Now this is the giving birth to new ideas card, basically. And it says, it's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So I'm asking about the pandemic. Immediately what I'm getting here is things are changing with the pandemic. Now we've already gotten the sun card there and the help card. I'm getting hope here again. That things are turning around and we're going to have new ideas. As I look at this card, I'm also getting the idea that because the question has to do with the pandemic itself. So there's going to be new ideas in the world, new situations. And the angels are saying, because that's what this is an angel card. So I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So that's what I'm picking up here. I'm not going to go to the book to find out more information because I don't want this reading to go on too long, but that is pretty much what I'm getting here. And I need to get a quick drink of water, so give me 1 second here. All right, I cut the mic there for a second. So that's what I'm getting here. I'm getting, this is a good message that we're going through this change. You know, places are going to reopen. We're going to get back on track. And this is for the world, so, you know, things are going to improve as far as the pandemic is concerned. Spirits, Angels, Universe with the major arcana cards, which I'm shuffling right now. What is the main message from these cards that you have to go along with the Isaiah Angel card? Whoops. Okay, a card just fell on the floor. Okay. Card 21. The World. That's this card. A circle. Completion. The end of one thing, the beginning of something new. Yeah, that's what I'm getting here. It's completion. So this pandemic is pretty much winding down. We're going to come to the end of this pandemic. And the next thing is going to start. The World card is also the last card of the major arcana. So then you start back with the Fool at 0, the new beginning. So that's what I'm getting here. So I'm asking about the pandemic. The angels are watching over us during these changes. We have a new beginning. We are completing this cycle. This is done. And also, the World card can also mean enlightenment. So we've learned a lot about this virus. We've learned a lot about what we should and shouldn't do. You know, of course, the world has, you know, we all have our own faults, and world leaders have their own faults, and, you know, things are being done either right or wrong or whatever, but we've still learned a lot. And so we've become enlightened. And it's already been said that there may not even be a second wave. You know, we're on the way to a vaccine, treatments that are working. So we have become more enlightened. And so this, in regards to the pandemic, is things are coming full circle. It's going to be complete. And we will move on from that. Now, there's going to be people that want to continue to push fear and anxiety, but this is the truth coming from the spirits and angels. So that's what I'm going with here. We're coming to the end of this. We're going to be complete, and we will be enlightened because of it. Okay. For time's sake, I'm not going to pull a minor card. My next question to the spirits and angels, and I'm going to go to the angel cards again, is what is your current message regarding this world change, which would include the corruption, the information that's been coming forward that some people are believing, some people aren't believing, but there's a lot of information has come forward in the past month, and also the riots. And I know that's a lot for you angels to answer, but it is all tied together, I think, because some of that corruption is tied to what's going on with the riots, as we are finding out from eyewitnesses. Okay, so here's two cards actually flipped out, and it's kind of weird how they flipped out. I'm seeing what I get from these, because it's the Azure card, which is another good card. Both of these are positive, and the Astara card. They both came out together. The Azure card says your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. I've gotten this card before asking about the global change. So again, patience and faith, and don't force it to happen. It's happening. Things are going to get better. Now the Astara card says you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. So these do complement each other. We need to continue, and this is for the globe. This is for everyone. We need to continue to reach for the stars and think of the best. Think about the future. It is kind of interesting because here in the United States, just yesterday, we launched a new rocket, which sent astronauts up to the space station. First time done from American soil in 11 years, since the space shuttle program has ended. And we are reaching for the stars. So I think I'm actually getting this. I'm getting this feeling like this card happened. This card came out for a reason, because they want to make that confirmation that it's relevant to current news. We are reaching for the stars again, even with everything that's going on, even with the corruption, even with the violence, even with the riots, even with the pandemic. We need to keep reaching for the stars. We need to look to the future, because, and the Azure card spells it out, your desired outcome. We all want this to end. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. This is this is the same message that I've been getting for this whole series. Everything is going to get better. There's been nothing really negative about any of these readings, as far as like the future. I mean, everything is coming out and saying things are going to get better. I need to get a quick drink of water, so give me just a moment here. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm going to go to the major arcana cards to go along with the world change, corruption, riots, everything. What major arcana tarot card goes along with the Azure card and Astara there? Spirits and angels, please come forward. What major arcana card? Oops. Okay. Here's the one that just flipped out. All right. The Lion card here. Strength. Card number 8. Strength. Now, it means we need to have strength. The What am I getting from? I'm just getting strength itself. The strength card means we need to have the strength to get through this. A lot of people are thinking about everyone else, like how everyone else feels, caring for other people, which is all good. But we also need to remember to take care of ourselves and love ourselves. It also, this card, I'm getting this whole love thing. It also means unconditional love. It means, if you're going to, here's what I'm getting. If you're going to tell the world that I love everyone, and I love everyone because we're all the same, you need to practice what you preach. You can't be saying brotherly love. We need to love each other because we're all part of the same human race. But then turn right around and say, this person is a jerk, that person is a jerk. I'm going to call this person names. I'm going to call that person names. I'm going to call this celebrity or politician bad names. And I don't like any of their followers, and I hate this and I dislike that. But I'm going to turn right around and say, but I'm all about peace and love, and I love everyone unconditionally. It's kind of like, don't be two-faced. I'm actually getting, and I don't usually get this when the spirits and angels speak to me. They usually don't use profanity, but I just got a profanity, and I think it was on purpose, because they don't usually do that, and I'm not the kind of person that uses profanity. I really don't. And when I hear people dropping, certain letter bombs, as they say, it's almost like, okay, you really have nothing good to say, so you're just going to try to show that you're more powerful by cursing, which is stupid if you ask me, because it means you don't really have anything nice or good or any good argument, so you're just going to curse because that's all you have. You have nothing else. And the spirits and angels just gave that to me. As I was saying, don't be two-faced. Don't talk out of two sides of your mouth. Don't say, I have unconditional love for the human race. We're all one. But I hate this group of people, and I don't like this person, and I'm going to call this person names, and I'm going to go online and and I'm going to curse out that person, and if I disagree with you, I'm going to call you all kinds of names because that's what you are. The spirits and angels, at that same time that I was saying that, used the F word. Don't effing talk out of both sides of your mouth. And I think they were making the point of what I just said, that's got to be it. If you're going to curse at people and write profanity online or on buildings or whatever, and that's the only thing that you really have to say, then you might as well just not say anything, because you don't like anything. You don't even like yourself. You don't love yourself, because you don't even have enough self-love to think. It's very sad. It's very sad. The strength card also talks about respect and, of course, courage. You mean the courage there with the lion. The courageous lion. Respect. Again, unconditional love and respect. Don't talk out of both effing sides of your mouth. Don't tell everyone like, oh, I respect all people except for, I love all of humanity except these people or those people. So that's what I'm picking up here with that card. Again, this all has to do with corruption. I'm asking about the stuff that's happening in the world right now. So That's what I'm getting. I'm going to go to the minor arcana cards to get a little bit more information on this. So to go along with the Star and Azure and the Strength card, what other message do we have from the minor arcana cards? Okay. This card just flipped over, like landed on my chest practically. I had to catch it with the cards. Okay, so this is a completion card because it's a 10. But it's the 10 of Swords. And again, this is one of those dark cards with light in the background. A lot of these cards in the tarot may be dark and they seem kind of like spooky, evil, bad, or whatever. But many of them have that light in the background. So, and that always tells me that whatever darkness is there, it's going to pass. So that's immediately what I'm picking up just from the image itself. The turmoil in the world that we need to keep reaching for the stars, our desired outcome, which is peace and harmony and good again, will come. We need to have that self-love, that respect for others, unconditional love for others, not talking out of both effing sides of our mouth, as the Spirit said. We've also got this light at the end of the tunnel. Now, the 10 of Swords, again, 10 means it's the end, it's complete, and then, the swords are over. The 10 of Swords is talking about recovery. And again, completion and embracing change, that type of thing, which fits in with the general message itself. We're coming to the completion of the virus. We're coming to the completion in the end, light at the end of the tunnel, with this pandemic and global world change. We're continuing to get this information. Information is still coming out. The media, of course, is focusing on the pandemic and, of course, the riots here in America. And I'm sure this has gone global. I'm sure all over the world people are seeing what's happening here in the United States, which is very disturbing, obviously. And the U.S. is a world power. We're getting lots of swords thrown at us. We've been punctured, and we've been, between the politics, the division in America and the world, the pandemic, storms, people having their lives upturned by violent weather. And that's also on a global scale, not just the United States, but quite a bit in the United States. And now we have these riots in the United States, which is impacting the world to some extent, because a lot of things that happen in the U.S. have a ripple effect around the world. It causes angst and stress and anxiety. It's like all of these swords have just been stabbed into us. But it's going to be ending. That's what I'm getting. We may have 10 swords stuck in us, but it is ending. I'm going to go ahead and ask the spirits and angels about the corruption itself in particular. I'm going to go back to the major arcana cards. The corruption, the abuse of power, that type of stuff that's been going on, that's being exposed. What do the spirits and angels have to say about the corruption in the world, the information that we've gotten that is being the abuses of power, the corruption on a global scale that we've been finding out about? What major? Okay, this is the card that has come forward. Okay, this is another repeat card. Card 15. Interesting that this card popped. The Devil. Immediately, I'm picking up the actual image of the devil with this card. This is the devil at work. That's what I'm getting. And it's being exposed. We need to pay attention to what the spirits and angels are telling us and the facts that are coming forth. With all of this information that's coming forward, we are finding out that there is definitely evil forces at work here in the world, and primarily here in the United States right now, with this, with the riots and the corruption that's going on, and we're finding out that, there's a lot of things that are linked. We're finding out that these riots are being started with an orchestrated effort. But also, this card, it represents the devil, but it also represents the fact that you can break those chains. You're not stuck to it. Once you see what's there, once you realize that you're chained to this devil, you can break those chains. It also means addictions, and in some respect, some of this respects this corruption in the world and the United States. People have become addicted to it. It's become the normal. Greed, envy, obsessions, lust of all different kinds. That's what it represents. The devil is all those things that, you need to break yourself from, because it can lead you down a wrong path. It can also represent things that are secretive and hiding. And there's a lot of that going on in the world. But it's being exposed, because remember, we're getting information. So the devil, all of these things are being exposed. That's what this is about. That's what's coming forward. And then you can break those chains. You don't have to be attached to the devil anymore. With that in mind, I'm going to go to the angel cards. Spirits, angels, universe, please come forward again. Since a lot of this is tied to, I'm actually seeing the riots in the back of my head. I'm getting visions of, the burning police cars and stuff. So, and also the corruption and the information that's coming forward. So I'm going to go ahead to, since this is leaning, it's sort of guiding me into what's happening here in the U.S. I'm going to go back to the president, Donald Trump, to see what angelic message there is regarding President Trump here in the United States. Okay, let me just shuffle these cards up. Okay, here we go. Spirit, angels, universe, please come forward. What angelic... Okay. This is interesting. So, the message to the president is, or about the president, is the Isabella card that came forth. Now again, and I'm getting the message again that this is the truth from the spirits, angels, the universe. Whether you like the President Trump or not, that's irrelevant. This is about the truth. This is about the message from the universe, the spirits and angels. And the Isabella card is actually a very, very hopeful card. This is... maybe I can actually get that on the thing. Yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So, everyone is hoping that things get better. The president is obviously trying to be as hopeful as possible, even though the media and the critics are constantly criticizing everything negatively. The timing is right for this new venture. Now, so I actually just heard in my ear, and this is kind of weird because the spirits and angels don't usually do this to me. I very rarely hear this, but I heard a whisper saying, "It's a secret." It was almost like, it's a secret. So when I said, yes, the timing is right for this new venture, I heard, it's a secret in my ear. So whatever the president is planning, it's something we don't know about, the world does not know about, he hasn't tweeted about it or anything like that. There is something going on that's being kept secret. But Isabella is saying, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. Something is being cooked up. Something is being planned. I don't know what it is. We don't know what it is. It's tied into all of this. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. Remember, I'm asking about President Donald Trump, and this is the card that came. So this card is it's telling us about the president. A happy outcome follows the president, not ours. This is the president's positive expectations. So he's got something going on, and there's going to be a positive outcome. The spirits and angels are not telling me. They're not giving me any clue of what this is. So I have no idea. I didn't see anything. In fact, I'm not getting anything right now. It's actually like it's all quiet. I'm not hearing any voices. I'm not seeing any visions. I'm not getting anything. I just got that one whisper, like, it's a secret. So, all that they're telling us is it's going to get better. Now, I doubt very much the President of the United States is going to see this video. I even doubt someone's going to see it and relay the message. I doubt that 99.9999999%. However, the spirits and angels are letting us know, me and you, the viewer, the listener, they're letting us know that there is something that's being cooked up. There is a plan, some new venture, and the spirits are telling us the timing is right for this. And as far as the president is concerned, a happy outcome follows his positive expectations. What I'm also noticing in this particular picture is there is a dove. Actually, there's two of them. Dove of peace. Look at that. There's one there in that corner, and Isabella's holding one up there. This is good. This is peace. There's this monkey down in the corner holding a red flower. A monkey holding a red flower. A monkey holding a flower. I'm getting a feeling. I'm not being told anything, but I'm just getting like a gut feeling that monkey holding the flower is also important. But I can't put my finger on it because I'm not getting anything concrete. It's just a feeling. The two doves are peace, tranquility. I can't put my finger on it, but the monkey holding the flower is symbolic. It's very symbolic. I'm just looking at the card right now, and I'm just seeing if I pick up anything else. And this is a tough one. Right next to that monkey, if you look carefully, because I was just looking at it carefully. Let me see if I can get that on the thing. There is like a bottle, but it looks almost like something you would put a drink in, or maybe like a medicine bottle, like an old-fashioned medicine bottle. I wonder if... I'd have to go check if monkeys are being used for testing of medicine, like a vaccine. To see if a vaccine is good for humans, because like chimpanzees and humans are very much alike as far as physiology and biology. So maybe they're using primates, monkeys, to test the virus on, a vaccine, not the virus, but the vaccine on. And the monkey is holding a flower, which is nice. It's not a dead flower; it's a live flower, and it's almost like this is the hope. I'm going to give you this flower because it represents love. It looks like a red rose too. Yeah, it is a red rose because I'm looking at it more carefully. So that's what I'm picking up from this. So this is a very positive card. And again, this has to do, maybe that has to do, maybe the president is going to announce the vaccine. Maybe there's going to be a breakthrough. I don't know. A happy outcome follows his positive expectations. Could be a treatment, not necessarily a vaccine. Maybe a treatment is being tried on monkeys or something to see if they are immune or protected from the virus. I don't know. But that's what I'm picking up here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the angel cards again. Sometimes I just get a feeling like I need to go to the minor cards or the major arcana cards in the tarot deck or the angel cards. I'm going to go back to the angel cards, see if there's any other message regarding the President of the United States that the spirits and angels want to bring forth. Okay, no cards are flipped. Oh, okay. This card flipped. Oh boy. Okay. Another repeat card. So I'm asking about the president. Is there anything else the spirits and angels want us to know about the President of the United States? Of course, Donald Trump. And this is another repeat card. And this is, I don't know how many times this card has now popped. And this is, as far as I am concerned, this is the ultimate card. Archangel Michael. Again. Archangel Michael. I'm with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. But, again, Archangel Michael, right there. Here's a symbol. He's my archangel. He comes to me whenever he speaks, whenever he comes forward. It means good. It means protection. Archangel Michael is the protector. So again, these cards are not just what they say, what's printed on them, but it's also their meaning to me. And this particular card is like a significant card. It is the most significant card in the deck. Archangel Michael means we need to be paying close attention. And again, I'm hearing those messages again. Pay no attention to Donald Trump. Pay attention to the message. Even if you hate Donald Trump, again, don't freaking talk out of both sides of your mouth, telling the world that you love everybody and then you hate Donald Trump. So, again, don't effing talk out of both sides of your mouth. Pay no attention to Donald Trump. It's not the person who's important, it's the message that's important. So we need to pay attention to the messages that he's conveying. Because those messages, don't think of them as coming from Donald Trump if you hate him. Think of them as coming from Archangel Michael. That's what I'm getting. Because this is the angelic message that's coming forth. That's what's important. It doesn't matter if you hate Donald Trump or you think he's the best president in the whole history of presidents of the United States. And if you're outside the United States and you're just bad-mouthing the president, and I know there's quite a few readers out there that are doing that, and the spirits and angels made it perfectly clear, and I mentioned this in my other readings. If you're going to other channels and other readers that are doing readings specifically about the President Donald Trump and the United States, even if they're not in the United States, if there's a reader in another country that is weighing in and starting their readings with their own political viewpoint and how they hate and how horrible things are in the United States, I would just tell you to take their channel and delete it from your bookmarks. Because they are not giving any enlightenment. They are not giving any message from the spirits and angels. They are using the tarot cards and the angel cards and whatever cards they're doing to do one thing: promote their own thoughts and their own agenda. And that's not what the spirits and angels are about. They're here to give us hope. They're here to give us love and light. They're here to give us constructive messages with how things can be positive. The spirits and angels are not going to give us messages on how terrible or how horrible somebody is. They may tell us about evil. They may tell us to be aware of something. But they're not going to tell us that one person is, an evil, bad person, or every decision this person makes is evil and bad. That's not what they do. That's not about love and light and harmony, which is what the spirits, angels, and the universe are about. They're here to enlighten us. They don't want us to be divided. They want us to be happy all together. They even want the evil people to be brought to justice or to become better. Actually, if you think about it, which I think is just wonderful. And I know there's a lot of readers, and there's even a lot of people out there that don't do readings, but they do, I guess in some way or form, spiritual guidance and that kind of stuff. And they insert their own personal politics into things, and they start damning certain individuals and people. That's not about love and light at all. That's not about enlightening anybody. That's about your own personal hatred. And you're using the spirits, angels, the universe, the cards to be twisted into meaning what you want them to mean. I could do that too. I could sit here and say, okay, Archangel Michael, and I'm being facetious here. I'm being idiotic. I could say, okay, I'm asking about Trump, and the Archangel Michael card came. So you know what that means? Oh, that must mean that the spirits and angels are going to wipe him away. They're going to get rid of him because he's evil and mean and nasty. He's the worst person in the GD world, So Archangel Michael's going to come and save and protect all of us from the evil President Donald Trump. No, that's not what this card is about. And that's not what I was asking about. This card has popped several times in these readings regarding the President and the United States, and also for other world leaders. Archangel Michael, the leader, the head angel, the protector, and the Archangel who watches over me. And again, go back and listen to my intro video and some of my other videos. You can find out. I'm not just doing that now. You go back months and I mention the same thing. So when he comes forward, he means love. He does mean love and light, protection, and helping, and getting rid of evil. And President Trump is not the evil one. President Trump is the one giving the message that's coming from Archangel Michael. That's what this all means. That's what this means. He's watching over. And this message has come through over and over again. And if we go by just the message itself on the card, even if you don't want to listen to me, This card is representing Donald Trump. It says, I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. And right now, his divine life purpose, he wants to help America. Now, I don't care what you have to say about that. I don't care if you say, oh, well, yeah, he's helping the racist. He's helping. No, he has never said that. The idea is to make America great. Now, I know there's people who have twisted those words. But he doesn't have to be president. As he has stated, he could have just retired on his, empire and just went off into the sunset. He's not even getting paid to be president because he donates his salary. So, why would somebody be so stupid to become president when he didn't have to? You say, oh, for his own ego. It's because he's so ego-driven. He's such a jerk. People are cursing him out, posting all kinds of derogatory BS online. He doesn't need that. He could have very easily just stayed being the business mogul in his own little empire and retired and let the rest of his family take over the business, and he could go play golf. He didn't have to run for president. He really didn't. Obviously, his ego is not getting stroked by the media or quite a few Americans that are cursing him out constantly. He is hated by so many people. He could easily just say, forget this. Forget it. I'm going to go retire. Mike Pence will become president. I don't care. He could easily just do that. But he has stated more than once that this is about making America great again. And it's not about racist, and it's not about white supremacy. It's not about any of that BS that people are out there pushing. He wants everyone to be successful. He's been the one during the pandemic that's been trying to be positive and trying to, instead of saying it's the end of the world during every newscast, he's the one that's been saying we have to get the country open again. We have to get over this. We need to, make things better. It's the people around him that are basically forcing his hand, because he's not a doctor, saying, oh no, we have to shut everything down. And the rest of the world basically follows or does the same. And he could have very easily just said, okay, you know what? You guys take over, Mike Pence take over, I'm going to step down. Because everybody just keeps bad-mouthing. But no, he's fighting the fight. And this card, Archangel Michael, is the fighter. He's the one. I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. He has to have that courage, and he needs to change how he thinks to deal with all this negativity being thrown at him all the time. And you know there are threats on his life on a constant basis. There's people who want to get rid of him in any way, shape, or form. And quite a few of the so-called loving people out there, the coexisting people out there, the we all have to live as one people out there want to do the same thing. They wish he was dead. So, why would somebody want to be president in those kind of conditions? It's his ego's definitely not getting any help. So, again, the message has come through several times. It's Archangel Michael, the protector, the fighter. So don't think of Donald Trump as Donald Trump. Think of him as Archangel Michael. Whenever he speaks, whenever he's giving messages, or being sarcastic, or, making a dry joke that nobody gets, or certain people get and a whole bunch of other people don't get for some reason, just remember, it's coming from Archangel Michael, not from Donald Trump. And I don't know why I was compelled to go off on that little tangent, because, this is not about again, I'm going to go back to say what I said in previous reading. This is not about Donald Trump. This is bigger. This is bigger than Donald Trump. This is about corruption. This is about organized chaos in the world that wants to disturb things. This is about a pandemic that appears to have been used for the crisis itself was being used to help evildoers make things go certain ways as far as politics, and keeping people under control. This has to do with corruption that is being uncovered. This is about riots that are happening right now here in the United States, where there is organized groups that are actually causing the riots, while others are just peacefully protesting. So, yeah, Archangel Michael is watching over us. All these cards are telling us things are going to get better. This is all tied into the information that's coming out. This is tied into all of the other readings that I did before this. Spirits and angels are becoming very clear about this. Is there a minor arcana card that can give us some other information about the President of the United States? Spirits and angels, I'm going to shuffle the minor arcana cards here real quick. Okay. All right. Can you fill us in with some more information from the minor arcana cards about President Donald Trump of the United States to go along with Archangel Michael and the Isabella card there? Isabella? Yeah. Okay. So we've got a king here. The King of Pentacles. Well, yeah, Trump does kind of see himself as kind of like a king. He is the leader, just the way he is. He does have an ego. He's got that New York attitude, which I'm not saying in the derogatory sense. It's, some people are just like that. But the kings represent the master, so we'll go along with that. And pentacles usually have to do with money, so it has to do with wealth and success and being grounded. And so again, this is telling us, this is fitting Donald Trump. Yes, he is wealthy. He was involved with business. He does have his wealth, of course. He was successful. Of course, there's people that complain about that too. But it also says, this card is saying that he's grounded. He is comfortable with himself. And he is a leader. He is a master. And not in the sense of white supremacist, which some idiots out there might say. No, it means he, how do I put this? He is the leader. He can play the game. And so that's why he's successful. That's why he became wealthy in business. Of course, there's people saying, oh, he was given that money. It was in his family. No. He had his own empire, and it was successful. Every business has its ups and downs. His did too. But he didn't get to where he is business-wise by doing nothing. So, but he's also grounded. And in this respect, what I'm getting is he's grounded with the people. He understands people, because he's not a typical politician. He doesn't talk out of both sides of his mouth. He's not going to tell you one thing when actually he knows something else. I know there's a lot of people say he lies all the time, and then they point to things that turn out he didn't actually say. It was all conjecture or something the media put out there, or twisted his words. But he is grounded. And again, this is coming from Archangel Michael, because I'm asking another card to go along with Isabella and the Archangel Michael card. So he's being guided by the angels. Again, don't think of it as Trump, think of it as Archangel Michael. So think of him as Archangel Michael. So that's what I'm getting here. He was brought to this position. The angels, the spirits, the universe brought him to make this decision to run for president, become president, and have the courage and the willful power to not step down, even in the face of everybody and their brother talking against him. Because he is more in line with the people. He talks like a typical person. He doesn't talk like a politician. I think there's no argument there. He's not the perfect speech giver. He's the kind of person that you could talk to on the street and understand him. Like, you could have a conversation with Donald Trump at the local tavern and think, like, he's a pretty cool guy. Like, yeah, he's a little rough around the edges, but I can get along with him because he's not talking down to me. He's not talking like he's a politician. He just talks like a normal person. So he's grounded with the people. And this is irritating. This is irritating the other politicians that have been in office for years, decades. Some of them seem like centuries. He hasn't. He's been actually working. He's been dealing with people. He's done his TV. Yes, he's been married a couple times. You know, he's more like an average, everyday person. He's not one of the elite, nose stuck-up snobs. Yes, he may be very wealthy, but he's more grounded than your typical politician. And that's what I'm getting here. So he's that kind of person, the King of Pentacles. Am I picking up anything else? He's very practical. And he's wise. The King of Pentacles is wise. So he is wise. People don't think he is, but he is. And if you think about it, he's one step ahead of a lot of these other politicians. He's given us clues as to things that were in the works. And then people said he was wrong and he lied and whatever, and then we find out later he was right. He's very wise, more than most give him credit for. And he's also practical. Again, not a typical politician. That's what I'm getting here. So again, that's my little segment here on President Donald Trump. I'm going to go ahead and ask the spirits. I'm going to take these away. Just put these cards back in their correct piles before I continue on. Make sure I don't put them in the wrong pile. Okay, that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Spirits, angels, universe, please come forward with the angel cards. I'm going to ask you about the riots in the U.S., what information or advice, whatever you want to give me. What information do you want to give us about the riots in the U.S.? What's the information message you want to give about the riots that are going on in the U.S., the division, the hatred, dealing with the riots in the U.S.? Okay, here's the card that flipped. Well, this is some good advice. The Leela card popped. Leela says, spend some time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Well, that's a good message to the rioters. People need to sit back and think. The message I'm getting in the back of my head is people need to, it says, spend some time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Again, the angels don't want this hate and anger. They want things to be good. So the advice, the message that they're giving us here, which is advice, is they're telling everyone to stop, spend some time alone in nature, because that, if you're outside, the weather's getting nice, it's a good time to go outside, especially here in the Northern Hemisphere. The United States has been very, very nice for the most part. Meditating about your desires and intentions. Think about what you want. And what I'm getting the message is, think about what you've learned. Think about what I'm getting here is the information that you've gotten. You go online. We've got all of this information at our fingertips, and we're finding out that there is orchestrated, planned out people that are starting these riots. And they're paid for it too, in many cases. You need to take that information and go by yourself and think about it and meditate about it. And I'm getting, don't be hot-headed. You have to think for yourself. I'm seeing the words knowledge is power. And it is. It's very powerful. There are many in this world who don't want you to think. They want you to follow what they tell you to. But you need to think for yourself. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. They want you, the idea is you want things to be better. Well, how does rioting and burning things down and looting your local stores and destroying property that hurts for everyone else in the community, hurts things for everyone else in the community, how does that help anybody? It doesn't. That's not positive, that's negative. You're making it harder for people. The angels want you to gain a positive perspective. What can you do to make the change that you seek in a positive way? Hurting others, destroying property is not the way to do it. I think we can all agree on that. So, the question to the angels was about the riots in the U.S. This is a perfect card to come through. I'm going to ask the spirits and angels for an additional card from the angel cards. To go with Leela, what other advice or message do you have for the people involved with the riots here in the U.S.? Okay. Let's see. What am I getting from this card? This is weird. It's the Bethany card. Let me see where I'm going to go with this. Because this is the card about taking care of yourself. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, a salt bath, or pedicure. What I'm getting here is, when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. I think that's part of the key here. Because I'm asking about a message to the people involved with the riots. You need to take care of yourself. And then everybody benefits. And it's to go along with this card. You need to think for yourself. Take care of yourself. Don't do what everyone else tells you to do. Follow what you think is right. And this part about, give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, sea salt bath, or pedicure. It's along with this. Relax. Meditate. Go out in nature. Relax. That's what this is. Treat yourself. Do something positive. That's what this is. And that's exactly what the spirits... This is exactly what I would expect from spirits, angels, in the universe. They're telling... And I don't think anybody who's involved with the protests and riots are going to ever watch my video, but maybe somebody or more than one person will watch this video and they know somebody involved with the riots or the protests and they're angry. Maybe this is the message you need to give to those people or that person that you know. Instead of going out and getting all hot-headed, relax. Be positive. Don't be negative. Don't talk out of both effing sides of your mouth. Don't say that you love and care for everybody except for, don't say you're all about coexisting, but you're going to call everybody of one race racists. It doesn't work that way. That's what I'm picking up here. So instead of going out and being destructive, be positive. And this is exactly what the spirits and angels want. They don't want us to be fighting. They don't want us to be two-faced. They want us all to get along. They want us to bring evil to justice. That's what I'm picking up here. So these two cards, they complement each other. They're both basically saying almost the same thing, but in two different ways. It's almost like, okay, you're planning on going out to the protest. Yeah, you're packing up a brick with you because you think you might break a window or throw it at a police officer. How about instead you take a deep breath and go outside in the backyard or go to the park and think about what you really want and pick up the internet, turn on your phone and find out what's really going on and find out if you're being used by somebody else or organization to do something that you really don't want to do. And is it really going to help the situation? And if it's not, you need to think about that. Or instead of going out and protesting and causing trouble, treat yourself today. Go do something positive. And again, relax. Because when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. You do the right things with yourself, everybody benefits. People don't get hurt. You don't hurt people's feelings. All the things that you actually want, all the things that you want to happen, if you take care of yourself and you learn and you contemplate, you meditate, and you get a positive perspective on things, it's good for everybody around you, not just yourself. Because then you are making positive change. Think about that. And that's exactly what spirits, angels, the universe collectively wants. They want us to be living in harmony. They don't want all of this stuff going on. The evil has to be brought to justice, but you can't fight against evil by doing something evil yourself, because that makes you no better than those who are actually evil. The words I want to say is, by doing something bad towards somebody else, even if your intentions are to make a positive change, is not the way to make positive change. Destroying other people's lives in the name of I'm going to make things better is not making anything better. You're making things worse. And no one can say burning down buildings is the right thing to do. No one can say that in the name of remembering somebody who was wrongfully killed, and I'm not saying, we need to wait for information. No. Somebody was wrongfully killed. Okay. So the person who did that, or persons involved with that, need to be brought to justice. And we have ways of doing that. It's not going to happen instantaneously, but it's going to happen. It's going to be taken care of, one way or the other. But to go out into places, cities, and burn down stores and loot stores isn't helping that situation. You're not going to make the wheels of justice happen any faster. All you're going to do is destroy the lives of everyone who works in that store, probably friends, family, neighbors. You're going to put people out of work. And this is just, we'll say, one store. One store. You burn it to the ground. You're going to effing burn the city down, right? Because you're angry of an injustice. What are you going to tell those people that now don't have a job? And they've already had a hard time because of a pandemic. What are you going to tell to the people that use that store to get their medication for their cancer treatment or their diabetes or their excruciating pain? How does burning down the store help them? It doesn't. You've just made life a lot more difficult. You've brought more pain, anxiety, stress on people you know or don't know. And they had nothing to do with the injustice that you are supposedly calling out and protesting or rioting over. How does burning police cars change anything? It doesn't. How does screaming profane words at people change anything? It doesn't. All it shows is hate and anger and uncontrol on your part. That's all it does. That's what these cards are telling us. That's what the angels are telling us. Instead of doing that, spend some time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. Turn it around. Don't follow the crowd. Think for yourself. You want to do something good? Maybe you should go to council meetings. Maybe you should write a letter to the mayor, or the governor, or the chief of police. Maybe you should go to town hall meetings and express what you think should be done. Maybe you should run for office and make the change. Help make the world better. Right? Instead of burning down a building and making it worse for other people. Or we could even say protesting. You know, the peaceful protest marches. Okay, so nobody really gets hurt. But do you think that really makes a change? Not really. Not that it's bad. I mean, peaceful protest, you have a right to do that here in the United States and other parts of the world too. You can peacefully protest. You can hold up your banners. But what is holding up a banner and chanting words over and over again really going to do? Not much. And yeah, you know, peaceful protest does include cursing people out. You can scream profanity in their face and call them names. And what does that do? What does that really do? Nothing. That's what the spirits are telling us here. That's what the angels are telling us here. That's what the universe, the collective universe, is telling us. Think. Spend some time alone. Do something good for yourself. Because when you take care of yourself, it benefits everybody. When you're thinking, when you're actually stepping away from the mob mentality, you can make the change the right way. Immediately, I'm thinking of Dr. Martin Luther King. He said, the only thing to get rid of hate, I don't know the exact phrase, but you fight hate and this evil with love. And what did he do? Yes, he was part of protest marches, but he also gave speeches and he went to meetings. He actually walked the walk, as they say. He went to places and fought for change. Yes, he did the protest marches, but he went to the people that made the decisions. He actually did things. He didn't just curse out people and burn buildings down. He did, and the people that followed him, they testified in front of courts. They had laws changed. They made a difference by doing things the positive way, not the way that a lot of people are doing it today. And again, this is going back to the fact that we know that there are organized groups that just want to cause trouble. They want to start basically a civil war in the United States. And they're feeding off of division and hate. And it's on both sides. Racism isn't just one way. It works the other way too. And when you've got one group of people calling all people of another group racist just because of the color of their skin, that makes those people that are calling racist themselves. You got to think about that. So, again, you need to think for yourself. Get away from the mob mentality. Do good for yourself, and it does good for everybody else. That's the message I'm getting. Amazing what kind of things come through just from 2 cards. The spirits and angels are getting noisy in my head again, and they're just... I'm an intuitive reader, and so sometimes I will actually say what I'm hearing, and I'll say they just told me this. But other times, I'm just parroting what's coming into my head. So sometimes I actually have to watch my readings over again. I listen to them myself because sometimes I don't even remember what I said because I'm just being a conduit for the spirits and angels to come through. And they're using me to portray this message. I see the cards, and then they just sort of spill all this stuff into my head to give to you. And so I know I just talked for a while. I don't even know how long, but and I know this reading has probably gone on way too long, but that's what I'm getting from just these 2 cards, because I'm asking about the riots and the people involved. So that's what I'm getting from just those 2 cards. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to see exactly what I said, because I know I was just parroting what was coming into my head from the spirits, angels, and the universe. Let me look over at the clock. Okay, so this has gone on for an hour and a half. This is a very, very long reading. So I apologize. If you've been listening to all this, it's been a long time, so I am going to wrap things up. So, Spirits, Angels, Universe, using the major arcana cards is there a final message regarding the world, for the world, that the spirits, angels, universe want the world to know? Please come forward. What message do you have for the world? What ending message for? Okay. I'm in the middle of asking. I'm sort of reiterating my question, but a card flipped out, and it's the Temperance card, which kind of reminds me of like Archangel Michael. Temperance, if you look at the picture, it's a powerful card in some respect. He's actually pouring water between two cups. He's finding the balance. But whenever I look at this card, to me it kind of looks like lightning bolts. So it's like power, like he's also not just pouring water back and forth, but it's almost like a lightning bolt. So it's almost like he's balancing power in the world. He's balancing power. So I'm asking for this message for the world. So this is card 14, Temperance. Temperance represents, balance, like I said, harmony. The spirits, angels, universe, they want harmony in the world. He is also representing self-control. We need to have more self-control in the world. And he also represents patience, being temperate, temperance. But again, we can't expect things to happen. I'm getting at the snap of a finger. Things are not going to happen overnight. But I'm asking, for this whole reading, this is a general closing message. This has to do with the pandemic. This has to do with the world change, the corruption, the riots, the turmoil that's going on in the world, the angst, the stress. We have to be patient. Things are not going to happen instantaneously. At the same time, he does represent the harmony and that balance. So, yeah, we just need to get that control back. Self-control. I'm getting a lot of different messages again. And it all has to do with peace, harmony, love, again, temperance. This is the message. I mean, these cards come through for a reason. And temperance also represents divine timing. And I sometimes bring that up because the spirits, angels, and the universe don't operate on our time. And sometimes the messages that come through will say very soon or imminent or something like that, which is relative to our time, like things are going to happen quickly. But temperance himself, this card, can represent divine timing. Things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen. And again, we go back to Donald Trump, the Archangel Michael card that comes through. And go to my previous readings, because there's a lot of this type of message that the spirits, angels, and the universe are working with us, and things are happening based on how they're supposed to happen. And this card has come through before too. Temperance has come through before. Temperance is talking about divine timing. Things are happening when they're supposed to happen, not necessarily when we would want them to happen. So again, things are not going to happen when we want them. They're going to happen on divine timing. We need to be patient, but we also need to keep ourselves balanced. I'm getting that because that's also what he represents. And we need to get into that harmony with the universe again. And I don't even know why I said again. That sort of, I parroted that. There was that voice in the back of my head that just said again. It's like, yes, say again. So we need to get back into being in harmony with each other and the world and the universe again. We were at some point, and somehow we've gone off track. And so the spirits, angels, and universe are trying to guide us back to where we're supposed to be. And with the world leaders that are in place now, at least most of them, I mean, there are some bad ones out there, but in particular, I focused on Donald Trump because I am in the United States. He's being guided by Archangel Michael, the protector, the leader of the angels. He's got him on his divine life purpose. Everything is being divinely guided as it is right now. So we need to think for ourselves. We need to get back so that we are in sync again with each other, the world, and the universe. I'm going to leave that card there. I'm going to go back to the angel cards. What is the final message from the angel cards for the world for this reading? Let me just shuffle these up because they're kind of sticking together again. All right. Okay, here we go. Final angel card. Spirits, angels, universe, please come forward. Okay. This is another repeat card. I know it by its color because I like this color. It's sort of a peach color. It's the Shanti card. Peace card. Beautiful. I am the angel of peace. I bring you a new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. So again, another positive message. This is the card that's basically saying things will get better. Divine timing. Information will continue to come. We need to pay attention to it. We need to learn. We need to stop following the group mentality. Think for ourselves. I'm really sorry that this reading has gone on so long because now I need to get a drink. But this is a good ending message. The Shanti card. Smoother road ahead. The angel of peace. Peace is coming. Things are going to get better. There it is. See? Beautiful card. That's a really good way to end off this reading. Now, just for fun, I'm going to flip the angel cards over. You can hear I didn't shuffle or anything. And here's the card that was at the the bottom of the deck. I had to do a double take on this one. The Oceana card was at the bottom of the deck, which is take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So if you want good things to happen, you need to lovingly assert yourself. Again, nice positive message. It's also a very, very pretty card. Let me show it to you again. The Oceana card. Okay, so that was at the bottom of the deck for the angel cards. Let me just put this other card back in, Shanti. And this goes back over in the Major Arcana cards. Let me turn the Major Arcana card deck over. And the card at the bottom of the deck is, well, we're ending off with the card we started with. The sun was at the bottom of the deck. New beginning. Everything's better. The sun will shine on you is coming to mind. Happiness, joyous outcome, success. This is what's coming. And what's funny is, this is hilarious. Right underneath the sun card, which is card number, this is not the end of the deck, but number 19, because 21 is the world card. But it's close to the end. It talks about new beginning. The sun card. Happiness, joyous outcome type thing. The very next card that was underneath it was the Fool, which is card 0, the beginning. You know, this is the leap of faith card, as I like to say. Not a care. The sun's out, just like here. The sun is out. He's ready to start something new, the new journey, the leap of faith, a new beginning. This is what's coming. Beautiful. And what's at the bottom of the minor arcana cards? Okay. Well, the King of Wands. Another king, obviously. Now this is just to end the reading. So again, the kings are the master. The King of Wands is a visionary, another type of leader. Can be an entrepreneur. So, thinking out of the box type person. And that's what's coming to mind. So we're going to have to, with this new beginning, we're going to need people who are visionaries, new leaders, entrepreneurs. Business is going to come back. The world is going to get better. This new beginning. And you go back to all my previous readings in this series, back to March and April. It's all about this new beginning that's coming, this change that's coming. And I'm getting the same thing here. And we've got this King of Wands. He also represents courage. I mean, you look at his chair there. It's got the lion there in the background. So again, courage. He represents that. But a very, very good person and a visionary again. That's coming through. He's also charming, But again, the courage is coming through. So we need to be courageous. We need to be visionaries. And this is for the world. We all need to work together to make this new world, this new change that's coming, where evil has been exposed. Justice is going to be coming, going back to my previous reading, because this is tied into this whole global pandemic, world change reading and message series. So this is tied into all of those previous messages. It's like a continuing story. Some of it's repeated. And that's where the angels, the spirits, the universe is coming through and saying, we want you to remember this. Don't forget this message. Whenever I say that things are getting repeated, it's the spirits, angels, the universe saying, we don't want you to lose focus of these messages because they are the same in every reading. We want you to keep these in mind because they are important points. It's like, you go to a class and the professor keeps saying something over and over again, and the student says, is that going to be on the test? Well, I think if they said it like 15,000 times, yeah, it's probably going to be on the test and you should probably take note of it. So it's like the spirits and angels are just like, yeah, we're repeating a lot of these messages because we want you to take note of them. I know I don't have a whole lot of viewers, but get the word out there because that's what this is all about. It's not about the number of viewers, and I'm not looking for millions of viewers or anything like that. There's enough other readers that are doing stuff like that. Again, watch. I really don't like to point out anybody in particular. So, there's quite a few readers out there that if you watch their channels, just, this keeps coming up in the back of my head. Be careful with what you're watching. If you're watching channels that are readings or meditations or whatever that are politically biased, and they even start their readings with their own little monologue about politics in the world, you just turn them off. Turn them off. Take them out of your bookmarks. Because they're not going to give you what the spirits and angels really want you to know. They're going to go through the cards and they're going to change the meanings to fit what they want to say. And if you watch really carefully, they will even skip over cards. I've actually watched a couple of channels where a card has actually come out and I see the reader look at the card and they put it back in the deck and they shuffle through them some more and they seem to be looking for the card that fits the message they want to give you. That's not giving you the message from the spirits in the universe. That's giving you their political agenda. So be careful with those readers. And the ones also, I've actually caught a couple of readers that have gotten a card and they completely twisted the meaning of that card. I mean, completely twisted the meaning of the card to fit their political narrative. And it was so blatantly obvious. And then I go read the comments and people are like, oh yeah, you're absolutely right. You're such a good reader. And I just look at those readings and I'm just like, oh my goodness. You talk about like hoodwinking, I guess is the word, your viewers, you know. It's almost like you're not even watching a reading, you're just watching like the news. I mean, that's what it is. They're just going to give you their viewpoint on the news, and then they're going to give you their reading, which is going to confirm their political agenda. And they're going to throw in that, oh yeah, the universe is telling us that this horrible thing is going to happen, and oh, it's the end of the presidency, and oh yes, he must have bad health. He's going to die in 2 months. You know, oh, and then you read the comments, oh, I hope you're so right. And it's like, oh, come on. That's not being enlightened or spreading light and truth. That's just like watching the news, you know? It's like, come on. So, yeah, be careful about who you're watching. Spirits and angels have been very, very clear to me about that. And if anything's coming through on these readings, that's been consistent. I just want to get that out there because unfortunately, the way the world is right now, there's a lot of false prophets, as they say. A lot of people that say they're all about love and light and truth, but they're giving you their little own agenda. So I'm just going to give you what the cards say, what the messages are from me, and you know, there's no political agenda here because, you know, I've actually spoke my mind, and I don't want to give you my political points because they're irrelevant. They have nothing to do with these readings. The cards that come out are the cards that come out. The messages that come through are the messages that come through. So that's how we have to take them. I'm not going to sit here and go through the cards and wait for the one, I'm going to wait for the one that talks about something bad. Here, there's a dark card. There's the card that I want to come through. I'm going to put that one out there. No, that's not what this is about. It's not what this is about at all. And I'm not going to twist the meanings of the cards either. So, something I really want everyone to keep in mind, because I know there's a lot of readers out there that are doing specific series on politics and Trump and Boris and their take on the world, and there's several of them that actually do their own little like news information before they actually do the reading about how they think the world should be and how the world is and how they think it is, and then they do their reading, and lo and behold, their reading is exactly the same as what their little diatribe, their little monologue before the reading was. Surprise, surprise, surprise. You know, oh, come on. You can almost guess what their reading is going to be like, right? So, yeah, just be aware of that. So that is the end of this reading. I want to thank you for watching. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you want to ring the bell or do whatever you have to do here on YouTube, that's perfectly fine with me, or not. This has been a long reading, so I do apologize for that, but I hope we got all caught up because I haven't done a reading in a long time. And I thank you for watching. If you didn't see any of the previous readings, please go back, watch some of them, see how the progression of these readings have been. I get the feeling that this reading was very similar to the other ones. In that there were some repeat cards. The message has been consistent, which tells me that the spirits and angels are coming through loud and clear. They're not throwing any curveballs my way, so all I can say is I just have to follow their message and continue forward. I wish everyone out there the best. If you're sick, I hope you get better. If you were sick and you've gotten better, I'm very happy for you. If you've lost anyone because of the virus, my thoughts and prayers are with you. In previous readings, I think I have gotten one of the cards that says, you got a message from your deceased loved one that they're happy on the other side. So just know that if you have lost anyone, they are at peace on the other side. They are no longer in pain. They are no longer suffering. What's coming to my mind right now is, again, the spirits, angels, universe are saying again, because I don't have a lot of viewers and I really don't care about that. It's not about the numbers. It's about the message. There may be some of you out there, or just one of you, that knows someone who's involved with things that I discussed in this reading. And if you think that you should, if you're thinking that you should take my message and give it to them, about being positive or involving the riots or what's happening in the world, if the message I want to convey is, if you think that you should tell somebody, even if you don't guide them to my page, like you just want to talk to them yourself, take my words, take my ideas, and tell them not how to think, but to think more critically and for themselves. You are correct, and you should do that. If you're thinking like, maybe I shouldn't because I don't know how they're going to take it, the message from the angels to that person or persons that's thinking that way is, no, you should tell them how you feel, and tell them that for their own good, they need to think for themselves and learn and get all the facts and not follow the crowd, because the crowd is not always correct. That message is coming through without any cards or anything. You can direct them and tell them, here's this YouTube link, listen to this guy who's talking about the spirits and angels, even if you don't believe in that stuff, because you know what, I'm a skeptic too. But if you just want to relay this message, maybe my reading here has given you that courage to let them know. Go on ahead, because the more people that are thinking for themselves and are being positive instead of negative is better, because that's what this is all about. So thank you everyone for watching. My thoughts and prayers are with all of you. I hope everyone stays safe, stays healthy. I honor the light in all of you, so namaste. And now I'm going to switch back over to the beautiful clouds. Thanks for watching.